Hey, I want to clarify something of the last video, and that's actually the topic of today. It's overthinking. Last night I overthought. I felt I made at the time last night, I felt I made a video that could be potentially offensive, and it could be. So I put in the descriptions to clarify a certain point. And then I realized this morning, maybe I was overthinking too much. But I won't take down that description. It could be a good souvenir for me to remind myself. At one time, I was like super overthinker. Like I overthink and try to avoid it next time. Right? I think overthinking is a pattern of thoughts that's like if the pace of assumptions is faster, unreasonably faster than that of like the pace of external validations for those assumptions. You know, like it could be texting a crush, right? And then there's no response for ages, right? Like 10 minutes, and then yeah, for a couple hours, right? And you don't know, right? Like you can't see the faces of your crush, so you don't understand. You won't know the true reason why there's no response, right? It could be a face of pleasure and okay, I gotta be careful how I speak. Like a face of like satisfaction or pleasure, right? Like she or he's like, oh wow, I'm being chased. That's awesome. Yeah, this is a one quickest, almost weird example I came up with just now. I don't know how to like prove my point other than that example, right? That's the thing. As I said, there's no external validation for an assumption. If one was to assume like, oh, I've been rejected, etc., that's just assumption based on no evidence or based on no immediate evidence, right? It could be a rejection, by the way. Just saying, don't be too so overthinking, right? Overthinking. Even now, as I talk, to be honest, I am overthinking what I'm saying. You can sort of tell, like if you're a regular watcher of my videos, today or in the future, or before, you will notice that when I speak, it feels like, and I know this is my weakness of mine, I do overthink a lot, and I try not to. It feels like I was about to say blah, blah, blah. And then I don't think it's a quick thinking. It's more like indecisiveness. I start saying something else rather than follow what I wanted to do. And that's actually an indirect reason why I started YouTube. It's actually a self-training for myself to stop. I'll call it overthinking today, but before I started YouTube, I was thinking overcoming indecisiveness, right? Right? You don't know. It's me. I think I do overthink. So I'm trying to train myself to speak more confidently, in a way that's I don't regret saying the first thing that comes into my mind. But I still need to be careful. I'm still focused on the mission of maybe I'm overthinking, but I'm still focused on the mission of spreading compassion and entertainment. If anything, all my videos should be the bones of my videos, right? Not the flesh, the surface aspects. The core foundation of all my YouTubes should be on entertainment. Meaning, I might not be able to make you laugh, but I'm trying to engage you as an audience. You want to feel stimulated. You want to learn something new, or maybe you learned something old in a different way, because I tend to say things differently on cliche points, to be honest. But I try my best to make them different, as a YouTuber starting out, I overthink to myself, sure, there's no immediate oh, it's gonna be a hype uptick of views. No, I never assumed that way, and yet it's still kind of on a human level. I feel sort of, I was about to say the word hurt, but that sounds so dramatic. I think it's more like what should I do to do better, right? That's what I thought, but cognitively, but emotionally, like a baby, I feel disappointed, right? Like, so I feel like, hey, this is something anyone else could face. And so, in a weird way, I just know, like, even with a sort of a beginner's attitude, I can still be a service to the general audience in terms of like, hey, sometimes it's good to hear advices from a wannabe, an amateur, a naive person than, well, I may not be naive actually. I may be like, I know what I'm talking about. Like, it's so hard for me to like understand if I'm doing well or not, second guessing, self judgmenting, and yeah, that's my weakness. I overthink a lot based on no evidence, right? Like, imagine if a person like climbing a mountain and doing a vlog of rock climbing, and let's say during that month there's 0 views. Overthinking is sort of an obsession. It might not even be a disappointment, but it's like it may not be a negative train of thoughts, but that train of thoughts could potentially be persistent. That person may think, "Oh, am I doing well? Is what I'm doing not entertaining enough?" So, like, here's a strategy I carefully thought of how to prevent people from overthinking in such a way that's really, really negative to them. To stop overthinking, one must know that there needs to be a healthy proportion in terms of how much proof is out there to verify your assumptions. Overthinking is when, and sometimes it's impossible to like find proof for your assumptions, right? Like, sometimes, let's say you want to prove to the world you're a good chess player. If you beat Magnus Carlsen, then it already proven that you have skills, right? Like, that's the proof. There's no overthinking from audience or friends of one who beated Magnus Carlsen. They won't overthink saying, hey, that's a luck. Because Magnus Carlsen is a king at his game, right? Like, he had years of experience building his ability to utterly destroy his opponents in chess, right? Like, actually, someday I want to play him. I'm pretty good at chess myself. Those who faced me met their unfortunate ends. Anyways, who knows? I might, even if it, the chance of Magnus Carlsen looking at my video is not 0%. It could be 0.0000%. But the longer it is on, the percentage increases. Now I'm thinking in a less overthinking manner, right? In terms of algorithm in YouTube, as long as here's the thing, overthinkers belongs to those who are more conscious of their mortalness. Like, if you don't think in longitude in terms of time span, you are more likely to feel a sense of desperation, and you tend to like want immediate conclusions or immediate gratifications. That's why I love the quote, like something, I think Gandhi said it, like, learn as if you can learn forever, live as if you have only one day left. And that blew my mind. If we think of complex problems in the world, like global warming, etc., and of course we have limits, right? We can't live up to 200 years old, unless maybe technology will change in the future, and we will be able to live to 200 years old. I'm optimistic of that, future generations, right? But my point is, if you can think in long terms, the more confident you are in your abilities to think. And then you can still overthink, but then you're not obsessively overthinking. Because sometimes, no matter how confident one is, if one is conscious of their own limits, then their overthinking can become toxic, because there's a sense of desperation. But if one is to think as if he or she can learn forever, then you can overthink, daydream, but there's no like panic state. of mind. So that would be my real advice on not to overthink, is to really, okay, sure, we can't live up to 300 years old. We cannot say, happy birthday to Yoda from Star Wars for thousands of years, right? I'm a super fan of Star Wars. But you just have to believe in yourself that you could, there's, in your subconscious, we're always hardwired to think in limits, right? We're not always consciously thinking about how long we're gonna live. But it's already embedded within our psyche. So like, if we could rewire our brain into thinking situations and complex situations in such a way that we totally ignore the limits, we tend to think things more confidently, and we can daydream 10 hours a day and not feel bad about ourselves. People, in human nature, people are not likely gonna sit in their own thoughts too long. That's why people use computers. That's why people go to the park. They want to focus on something tangible because they don't want to be stuck in here. And that's how I would deal with overthinking. Like, you have to step outside of your I don't know, you 100%, I swear this is not scripted. The little rant in the last 5 minutes is totally made up now, and I'm so proud of it. Am I overthinking? Yes. But am I desperate in my overthinking? No. And so the outward the symptoms of what I'm saying can be so impressive. Or maybe I'm just being a narcissist. Well, yeah, what a therapeutic talk. I feel like I enlightened myself by saying this, and I hope this video is thought-provoking, and I'm very happy I done this video. I'm so happy I started YouTube channel. I feel like I have so much to offer, and yet so much to learn myself. And again, the core foundation of my videos are based on compassion and based on entertainment. I hope I accomplished these two, and if I did, you can let me know in the future. Thank you for listening. God bless. And hope your 2023 is rocking. And I'm such a fan of Star Wars. I'm always overthinking about them. Like, I wonder what's gonna happen next. And I love all movies of Star Wars. I'm gonna maybe do a rant and do more everyone who's the creative minds behind the work. Man, I'm so appreciative of them. And keep going. And let's see what happens. I can think all day about Star Wars. Just saying. And thank you for listening. Good luck. And have a great day or a great evening. A fantastic journey in your life. Wherever you are, whoever you are. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.